So it's a good thing for us right now that we're connected with MMC Hospital General Pediatrician, Dr. Reza Fahlevi, who will share with us the benefits and also the do's and don'ts of fasting for children. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Safira and Paolo. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. You two already previously know each other, I believe. So great to have you back as a little reunion here. So let's get right into it, Doc. What age is it safe or recommended for children to start learning how to fast?
Okay, well, basically, there is no medical guideline that clearly state what is the appropriate age to children to start fasting. However, if we see from growth and developmental aspect of the children usually understand how to do fasting and understand the benefit of fasting while they're already in the school age around 6 or 7 years. Oh. That's why I think the appropriate age for children to start fasting is in the school age. But before that, when still in a toddler, for example, we can introduce the fasting to children by asking them joining sahur or breaking fasting together. At the school age, we also have to teach the children to do fasting in the step manner. I mean, like, for example, like Paul said, for example, first we start half day and then for the several day, and then we can start for the full day. So by the time they have already in the adolescent stage, as we know that in adolescent or pubertal stage is already obligation in Islam, right, to for children to do fasting. Right. They already well prepared to do fasting in the full day.
Yeah, and I there was a couple of days where she had to do physical activities like sports. Like we do have like private sports lessons for her or sports days at school. We actually force her to drink some water halfway through the day. I don't want her to pass out. So like, drink a little bit of water and you can continue your fast, right? Just to make sure she doesn't black out.
That's how it started, you know. I remember when I was a little
because before pubertal stage that we can teach children to do fasting, but we cannot force them. Because we have to make sure the healthy of the children is also well maintained during the fasting.
Yes, and you don't want your kids to be traumatized with fasting.
You want them to be happy and they want to willingly do it.
Exactly. Doctor, you mentioned about the benefits of fasting. We know that fasting for adults has so many benefits, especially for health. Can you tell us more the benefits of fasting, especially for children?
Okay, we can divide it into two aspects. The first mentally and the second for the physically. For mentally, actually, fasting for the kids can teach the kids to have discipline, to be, follow the rules and also true to themselves, and then and also to introduce the religious aspect for them, as like in our country, Islam is one of the biggest religion. So by teaching them in early age, they know the religious things and that they have to do later in adult. Right. And then the second for the physical aspect, the first, fasting can prevent obesity. As we know, obesity right now in the children is also increasing and it's also dangerous. And then the second, it prepares the body for the stressors such as hunger that might be happen later in their life, due to various things. So by doing fasting, his or her body already well prepared for the hunger or other stressor.
That's actually a good point. I never thought of that because
it must be right.
Right, like you're gonna get hungry at one point in your life many times, right? So if you're already used to it, it's not strange to you. Right. So this is the part that confuses me sometimes. When we have sahur or we wake up around 3 a.m. here our time, we try to prepare the more nutritious foods, or but then at times I want to make sure that my kid is enjoying her final meal before she starts her fast for the day. So are there any recommended foods which can help children stay more, more hydrated or stay kind of more satisfied until iftar? Because it's quite about 13, 14 hours here for them. So what are the recommended foods, or should we just let them eat as much as possible? What's your recommendation?
Okay, in terms of food, we have to see the quality and also the quantity. Because children have growth and developmental stage, and also nutrition is one of the most important fundamental for growth and development. So we have to make sure during the fasting, the kids still get the nutritious foods content of macronutrient, that is carbohydrate, protein, and fat, and also micronutrient, vitamins and mineral, and also enough drink of water. At breaking fasting, actually, we can serve the kids for the sweet beverage or snacks to for them to have the rapid fuel, for the energy. But after that, remember that drinking fresh water and also eating the complete foods is more beneficial and important compared to just food that contain only carbohydrate and also the sweet beverage. So we have to maintain actually the balance, the quality and also the quantity of the foods that the kids obtain during the fasting. And also we know some foods that will make the kids stay not hunger for long periods, such as the foods content of fiber, for example. So an apple in sahur, that also can make the children will feel not hungry at the morning. So we can also try that. But also other foods that contain of low index glycemic foods, such as oat, for example. This also can maintain the satisfied feeling for the children during fasting.
Nice.
I try to apply that because when it's not Ramadan, I do every now and then do intermittent fasting. And I try to find foods that will keep me full for longer, and that way I don't have to deal with hunger at the short period.
In the afternoon or the morning, because you start working very early.
I find that high protein foods tend to kind of help me with that. I don't know if it's the same for kids.
So, Dr. Reza, you mentioned about the ingredients that probably best for kids, so they can feel more satisfied or full longer after wait for the iftar. Is there any kind of food that children should avoid during sahur?
Well, if we see gastrointestinal problem or stomach spasm is one of the problem that might happen to children during fasting. That's why I think acidic and also hot food should be prevented during sahur, to prevent the stomach.
When you say hot, do you mean temperature hot or spicy hot?
Spicy,
spicy one.
All right, okay.
Your kids love spicy, right?
Well, no, not at all. She hates spicy food. That's me. I love.
You love spicy food, not for the kids. Okay.
So what about we try to reward our children sometimes because they want to do a fast, and then some of the kids, they like junk food, and we can't avoid that sometimes. How much should we avoid junk food? I mean, there's no way to completely avoid it, but my kid, she just started to like instant noodles lately, or she likes to have, churros, something with sugar on it. How much can we reward our kids when it comes to this sort of junk food, quote unquote?
Well, in medical, we know for the diets for children, we have what we call traffic light diet. Traffic light content that green light means the kids can consume it in a lot of amounts, just vegetable and fruits. And then the red kind of food that is include of junk food and that children should avoid or eat seldomly. I mean, like once or twice a month, but we have to limit it because that tend to make our children become obesity.
What are some examples of the yellow light foods? What are some examples?
Yellow light food is like the common foods. First example, like our daily food. Our daily food, we can put it in the yellow light.
Oh, I see. What about red light is the bad stuff?
Okay, the junk food.
Red light such as junk food then
processed food,
sweet beverage and then soda drinks, that's chocolate, and that's all included in the red light.
Unfortunately, my kid has the whole thing flipped upside down. All the red light things that you just mentioned, it's in her.
You didn't want to. Okay, what about the vitamins, Doc? Because sometimes parents are too worried about their kids having fasting. Should the parents add vitamins to children's diet regime during fasting, or just let it be the kids having their sahur and iftar with a great nutrition in the food, or how?
Okay, the answer is it depends. Depends if we can make sure the children consume enough amount of foods. I mean, like quality and also the quantity. Then we don't have to give them certain vitamins for children. However, in some condition, for example, the children that have picky eater, or maybe we cannot make sure they can obtain the fulfillment of good nutrition during fasting, then we can give the supplementation of vitamins and mineral in the right amount. I mean that right amount is we can choose the product for kids and also with the right dose, not overdose.
Okay, my kid takes a little kitty vitamin C, child vitamin. She just likes it, and I guess vitamin C can't hurt, right?
Yes, of course.
What about when it comes to weight loss? I've noticed that during the first week, my kid has lost a little bit of weight, nothing drastic, but when should we be kind of concerned when our kid starts to lose a little too much weight? Like, what's the red flag there?
Yes, because children has a growth and developmental aspect. So, for example, in children with obesity, we cannot reduce the weight, significantly.
Okay.
So the safe amount is only half to 1 kg per month. That's only the safest level for kids to reduce their body weight when they are obesity. But if they are not obesity, actually we have to keep maintain the body weight at least the same. The best is also we have to have a little bit increase. The increase is depends on the age, because in the younger age then the increase will be higher, but in the later age, for example, in your kids, Paul, 7 years, that's maybe only 100 or 50 grams per month.
Okay.
It's good for him or her.
Okay, it's just very slight. I haven't weighed her, but I noticed she's just a little bit slimmer, nothing drastic. But I guess it's opposite than adults, because during Ramadan for us adults, we try to lose weight as much.
Yes, we gain. Yeah, sometimes we gain a lot, but sometimes we just keep maintaining the weight for us for the adult.
True.
Probably we can implement the same treatment with the adult, with the kids as well, but do not force them too much.
Yeah, and I think if you do give them high quality food, then it's easier to maintain.
If you can provide your kids with high quality food, so basically we can provide ourselves with high quality food as well. So we can keep our weight balance. Thanks for reminding me, Paul.
Perhaps last, before we let you go here, because we're running out of time, Doc, any recommended, what's your, give us an idea of what a daily iftar and sahur would look like for a regular child that would kind of help them maintain good nutrition as well as keep them satiated throughout the entire month of Ramadan.
Okay, so in breaking fast, as I mentioned before, we can serve the sweet beverage and snack first, and then they can do Salat Maghrib, and then they have to eat their dinner, nutritious foods, and then after Taraweh, they also have to have foods before sleeping, and then in sahur also we have to serve them the nutritious food. If the children cannot wake up for sahur, I suggest not to force them to fasting, because that will be exhausted for them. And also for drinks, we also have to fulfill the right amount of water during iftar, and also before Tarawih, before sleeping, and also in sahur. So for at least the children have to consume around 1.5 liters until 2 liters per day during the night period, so they can have enough water serving during the fasting in the days.
So they stay hydrated. That's a very good point. It's a good guideline to have. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Doc. That gives us a better idea.
Thank you, Safira.
Thank you so much, Doc. Yes, have a lovely day.
I think I found myself a new pediatrician.
Good.
So I'll be seeing you soon.
You can visit Dr. Reza then. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Safira.
Bye.
Have an awesome day.